Hi, this is Brad from the Returns for Sale app, and in this video we're going to cover creating a drip. Right now within the Returns for Sale app, we are in the dashboard, and this is where we create the new drip. From here, we're just going to click on New Drip, and what a drip is, just so you know, this is where we're creating the widget. This is the widget. We call it a drip. We're creating a new product that's going to go into your products catalog that deletes when it sells. Companies have hundreds or even thousands of returns that are listed. We don't need to list a new drip for every individual return. In this example here, I put the warehouse import September. That's where we created a bulk import. Within there, you can see we've got a product quantity of 6. It's still in draft mode, so it's not confirmed and published like here. But we've got 4 items listed here. A couple of them have a quantity of 2. If I wanted to add more to this category, I would simply add a product from there. Back to the dashboard, we're going to create a new drip. We'll keep that at drip 80. I'm going to add a product. In this one, I'll pick the chandelier. From there, I'm going to choose the product or the type. The type has to do with what we're naming it, which goes right along the top of the widget. The reason it shows customer returns is because that's what I had set by default in my settings under branding. However, I can change that at any point. So we could call it scratch and dent. We could call it closeouts, clearance. You could even leave it completely blank. But in this case, I'm going to change customer returns to last year's models. Okay, so from there, I'm going to choose my template. Templates are all down here. But on this one, I'm going to choose a fixed rate of 15% off. I'm going to hit save. And now this is where it all happens. We're going to create the new page. Remember what happens here is this is the original product, $700. We've shown an open box return. We click on view item. This is the page we're creating. Right here. It's going to have the widget within it, and it's got its own title, it's got its own name, it's got its own URL, it's even got its own content and images. All that's going to be done right here. One product, you can select that quantity. I'm going to say A, and I'm going to say last year's model, a little lighter in weight. Okay, so that's going to be the description within here. To change this description on the product page, we may want to make some adjustments here. So we can just expand into here and we can do that. Maybe you want to remove mentioning of colors or what have you. You can change that within here. And then we're also going to choose which images. Let's get rid of this one. We'll just add the returns for sale banner. So we'll see when we publish it. And then up here is the name that I mentioned, right? So that's what's going to be here. I call it open box return. In this example, we'll just get rid of old model. URL we can change to 123. The SKU is blank, and you can leave it blank, but if you want to add a SKU to your product so that a warehouse or your third-party warehouse can figure out what it is that sells, you can add that there. The remove from inventory is left blank by default. The reason being, if you click on this button, it will remove that chandelier that you chose as a new product. It's going to remove one from the inventory in your products. Generally speaking, people don't put them back in inventory when returns come back, so we leave that blank. And then, of course, your location, because it may be sitting at a different warehouse. Template generally is not used, but some bigger shops have other templates within their own Shopify store, so that's why we set that there. And then where is this going to be sold? From that, we're going to hit save. And if you want to make some edits, you still can go back, but then it's simply confirm and publish. You'll notice here we got a drip that's happening. Once that goes solid, you know it's gone live. And then from here, you can view what it's like in Shopify. So we click view on Storefront. This is the page we just created. You'll notice it doesn't have a drip there because I did flat rate of 15% off. It's called last year's model. This is where I put the description. And you'll notice the images that I add. Remember that logo I added? That's now on this page. The other images were pulled off. And this, of course, expands as well. The reason it expands there is because if we go back to the original product page, you see I've got a couple in here now. And so these were the original products. And so on this example, I've got 3 different ones of the actual used product that was damaged. But in mine, that you and I just created, we've got this image there. And then they can actually add to cart from there, or they can view the item and they go to that product page we created. And so when we go back to the dashboard, we're going to see here, there's the drip 80 I created. We've got, it's only been active for 1 day. There's 1 quantity. It's called last year's model. If I want to adjust things, one thing you can do is you can actually change the parent. So if you want to move it to another product, you could simply do that there. You have to just type that in exactly. It doesn't have a drop down in this one. And you can also go in and you can edit the quantity. You can edit the drip itself. We could edit the name. You could make adjustments there. So from here, we can also edit it in the product. So we go to products and you'll see right at the top here, the chandelier, the old model, that's what I called it. You could go in, change anything you want in here. And remember, this is going to automatically archive for 40 days and delete once it's sold. So that's how you create a new drip, and that's what it looks like. Of course, if you have any questions, want to reach out, you can reach us on WhatsApp, you can email us, you can actually call a cell phone, we'll answer, you can text us. That's how easy it is. You're going to sell a lot of open box returns with this. We make it really easy to list any product in any condition.